Paulo, Joe, I want to come on.
Hey, Mike. Yeah, how's it going, David? Thank you so much for setting this up, Mike, and
Awesome.
great listening to you guys. I run a collectibles marketplace. It's focused on actually trading collectibles, so no buying and selling. It's literally just sending one item, for another item on our marketplace. Um, Pretty tough to kind of like, introduce liquidity in a market like this, of course, in a marketplace like this. But one of the questions that I had was, I really enjoyed what you were saying about investors and like them giving us advice, and we did take money early on and we are getting a lot of advice, and some of the advice that we're getting is based off of authentication. They want us to middleman, so technically taking a product, putting it in like our logistical warehouse, etc. And I'm kind of like very against that because I believe that there could be authentication in different ways. You could build that authentication different ways, and I want to know, maybe did you have any problems with kind of setting up that trust and authentication in the early days? And how did you kind of go about building that via like
Yeah,
maybe KYC or something like that?
that's great. That's a great question. First of all, I spent a lot of time with the early sneaker marketplaces in 2013, 14, Goat and StockX. And I met with I'm from Detroit originally, so I met with the StockX team, and I was like, "You mean you touch every sneaker and authenticate it? This is ridiculous. I'm selling $3,000 guitars. No one's touching them." And I learned that really on. My investors, my friends and family investors were like, "Well, how are you going to authenticate this? Isn't there a lot of fraud?" And yeah, there is plenty of fraud in the musical instruments category. I was going to solve it by actually guaranteeing that we would give you your money back if you bought a fraudulent guitar. If I'm going to take that risk, I better have really good listing standards on the front end. And this is before machine learning models. And Dan knows firsthand, like we were literally monitoring, reviewing, removing. A bad image was a bad image. Like you could tell if people were stealing images from other stock photo. But what made our product unique was the image and the photography and the description. So over time, we started obviously using machine learning. And today, with all the AI tools, it would be like a walk in the park. But like being able to quasi authenticate first and removing the crap, like that's like table stakes, right? Well, then the next level is where is the human intelligence and AI tools that you're using to like really further refine that? And we do this with Pango. I mean, we have people frauding us with Pango for like $12, literally creating fake books, selling it to themselves, doing one legitimate transaction. We're paying them out so that they can then go do fake transactions with fake shipping USPS things so they can get $12 from us maybe 10 times. And so yeah, the frauds exist everywhere. I do think leaning into not authenticating is critical. I don't know exactly what kind of collectibles you're selling and when it does make sense for people to touch them, inspect them, and look at them. Clearly, I'd say the StockX and the GOAT model worked because eBay wasn't offering that. And it was a huge win. I think if you look at the TCG player model, I think you'll see a different scenario where that solved bundling. It didn't necessarily solve authentication. These are people that wanted to buy multiple cards at a time, and therefore having them in a fulfillment house solved more of a shipping friction than an authentication problem. So I'm trying to answer your question lightly without like saying like there is one reason why you would authenticate or not. But if anyone looked at Reverb and saw $3,000, $10,000, $50,000 guitars, they would have assumed that we were somehow authenticating it, and we weren't. We were authenticating it with our knowledge, with our intelligence, and with our due diligence, but we didn't touch the product. We also were authenticating by kicking out bad sellers and promoting good sellers, right? And like that's it. If you think you're just going to create a mall and let anyone show up and sell anything, well, then you're not really authenticating, right? If you're really going to stand behind the people that are on your platform and in your mall, then you are authenticating. Do you need to touch it? I don't know. That's just another level of trust.